Hey guys, it's me Simo Orahara, and in this video, we'll continue our journey with the secret stories of the game Bleach Rebirth of Souls. There's still so much more to discuss guys, many details are being revealed, making us rethink a lot of events we have seen before from a fresh perspective. Today we'll talk about Kyoraku Shunsui. There are important revelations about Kyoraku, such as the thoughts he had regarding the Vizard's incident in the past, Aizen's betrayal and the truth behind it, as well as what Kyoraku said about his fight against Aizen and the fake Karakura. These are all things guys we'll explore together. But before that, I want to comment on some of the feedback from the previous video. I noticed that some of you guys are asking me to make a video about Aizen Sosuke's secret story, and I want to tell you that I will definitely do it. However, it will take some time since it's about an hour long and includes a lot of new information that requires more time. But soon I will make a video about it. Secondly guys, I like this fan's comment. Of course, aside from the talk about the jump and its relation to this matter, Kubo had previously stated that there were many stories he wanted to add regarding the characters in the story, but often didn't have the time to include them. As you can read, Kubo says that almost every character had a special story he wanted to add but couldn't due to time issues. Therefore guys, what Kubo wanted aligns with the content of these secret stories, which reveal aspects we didn't know about. And also I like this comment. Yes, we can consider the new information that fits with the context of the story as canon, unless Kubo himself denies it. And now with that said guys, let's go into the main topic. So the story begins with Momo asking Kyoraku to train her because she wants to become more efficient and powerful for Aizen Sosuke. Yes, this event took place during Ichigo's arrival in the Soul Society in his attempt to go to Sereji with the others. Personally, I'm not overly concerned with whether Kyoraku truly trained Momo or not, but what matters for me are the thoughts that were going through Kyoraku's mind, or rather his doubts. After training Momo, Kyoraku says that whenever he thinks about Aizen Sosuke, he thinks about the incident that happened 100 years ago, the disappearance of the Kompaku, and how in a strange way all the accusations were pinned on Urahara Kisuke, the captain of the 12th division at the time. We already seen that Kyoraku from the beginning he had some doubts about Aizen Sosuke when he was a vice captain. He suspected that there was something behind him, doubts that what was happening might be related to him, but at the same time all the evidence suggested that he had no involvement in what happened. In fact, Kyoraku himself would be a witness that Aizen was present in Sereji when the incident with Hiraku and the others took place. So the only suspect was Kisuke, Urahara and Chisai. But you know, despite being completely under illusion of the Kyokatsuigitsu, having these doubts highlights how Kyoraku can see through people and easily detect their true nature. For example, Kyoraku Shunsui was the one who uncovered Tokinada's truth. When Tokinada killed that Shinigami who was with him and then killed Kakyo, his wife, he went to his family and told them he was just defending himself since he found that Shinigami committing adultery with his wife. Therefore, the family tried to cover it up, but when Kyoraku intervened, who at the time wasn't yet a captain, Tokinada was put on trial, and as a result his Zanpakuto was confiscated, which was the harshest punishment possible for someone of his noble status. But in the case of Aizen Sosuke, the situation was very difficult, especially with the power of Aizen's Zanpakuto, and these doubts only grew when Ichigo entered Sereji. When Kyoraku returned to the 8th Division's headquarters, Nanao informed him that the Ryoka had entered the Sereji, and reports indicated clashes were happening. This is when Kyoraku would ask several important questions. He saw that Ryoka's attack or their attempt to infiltrate Sereji was expected since they wanted to rescue Rukia. But what was unusual was the fact that a captain himself was sent to search for Rukia, a low-ranking officer like her. Also how quickly the execution date was set. Another thing that Kyoraku found strange was the number of decisions made by the Center 46, which led him to wonder if there were disagreements between the Kuchiki family and the other noble families. And this is honestly guys a nice assumption from Kyoraku. I believe Kyoraku thought that the Kuchiki family wouldn't agreed to execute one of their own just for granting Shinigami power to someone else, while someone like Tokinada, who killed 2 Shinigami, faced no consequences. Therefore, in another scenario, a civil war between the noble families due to such issues would have been an interesting story, guys. But the reality was different. Aizen was the one controlling all of this, and this truth would eventually be revealed to Kyoraku. Unohana exposed the fact that Aizen Sosuke was a traitor. And the game will give us some nice scenes here, particularly the conversation between Kyoraku and the 3 Hisagi, Kira and Matsumoto, and how he tried to ease their pain over the disappearance of their captains, and the reveal that they were actually traitors. Because I see these scenes show Kyoraku's leadership qualities, and how he can calm things down even when they are chaotic, something we saw later in Thousand Year Blood War arc. However, guys, the most important part of this secret story about Kyoraku is what he said after the final battle of the Arrancar arc and the defeat of Aizen Sosuke. Kyoraku began recalling some memories from that battle and wondering what would have happened if he had done this or that. For example, he said that if he had fought with more power, the results might have been different. But he continued by saying that even then, it wouldn't have changed anything. Kyoraku even spoke about using his Bankai. But again, he said that even if he had defeated Aizen Sosuke, the damage would have been too great for everyone, especially since the battle, as we know, involved most of the captains and vice captains along with Ichigo. But when you think about it, guys, I believe Kyoraku wouldn't have been able to truly defeat Aizen Sosuke even if he used his strongest techniques. Simply because with the Hogyuku, Aizen Sosuke could easily regenerate himself as he did with Gin's Bankai. I mean, Kyoraku could use his strongest chapter like slice his neck or down him into the depth of ocean, but in the end, Aizen would come back, just as he did many times with Orohara, Gin, and so on. Perhaps things would have been different if Aizen didn't have the Hogyuku. But what stood out to me in this case was the difference in mentality between Kyoraku and Yamamoto. For example, if Kyoraku had thought like Yamamoto, he would have definitely go to Bankai. No matter the consequences, he wouldn't have cared about the presence of the others like captains and vice captains, nor even the possibility of being defeated. What he would have done was unleash his Bankai, and this is exactly what Yamamoto did against Aizen. He activated his Ryurenjaka and was ready to sacrifice everyone, including himself, in order to defeat Aizen. But Kyoraku saw things differently. He believed that winning wasn't everything. He said that the Gote 13 should think carefully about the consequences of their actions. Therefore, guys, it can be said that Kyoraku's decision not to use his Bankai was actually justified. First, because he probably believed that he wouldn't have been able to do anything to Aizen with the Hogyuku, and secondly, the damage to the rest would have been too great. And so the story, guys, also ended similarly to Hiraku's stories. After 17 months, during which Ichigo had lost his powers, Kyoraku would receive a message asking everyone to help to restore Ichigo's power. And since Ichigo was the one who defeated Aizen, he also participated in restoring Ichigo's powers. And then, guys, what do you think about Kyoraku in this story, about his doubts, about his thinking of fighting Aizen with the Bankai? If he had unleashed his Bankai, what are the things that could have changed? Tell me, guys, in the comments, and see you in my next video.